Hi guys, Storm here with another video. How's your all day going? We're gonna go into a couple of things, like some of these ongoing bugs. Talked about some of them are new. We're gonna go over it real quick. So first things first. As I see on here on my list, let's go over the first one. Now, I don't believe it's for any other guns except for the sniper rifles, the Vanguard sniper rifles. It seems to be it's just them, but it could be for other Vanguard weapons. But we'll have to wait and see. So, it could be any weapons with a fast mag attachment, but there is for certain all sniper rifles with a fast round attachment. Normally what it's supposed to do is, reload the bullets quicker. That's it. There's no cons. You don't get any extra ammo. It's literally you, instead of putting each round one, different. However, that's how it's supposed to work. What actually happens is the reload animation is quicker, sure, but it's doing the same bug that Cold War was doing, and I think Black Ops... What did I say, Black Ops 4 or Warzone? All I know is the biggest prominent one was where I started noticing, they started doing this in a previous Call of Duty, but it wasn't so much a bug as much as it was a feature. They were trying to be more realistic. It's like, okay, we want players to stop, obsessively reloading after every kill. So anytime they reload, they're throwing away that clip, whatever they throw away, and sure, you get a fresh mag, but you're throwing away any bullets that was in that mag, and it takes away from your overall stock. Now that's not normally what it is, even though it's not realistic. Call of Duty has never really been realistic. Even if you threw away the mag, you're reloading and it's not completely empty, the bullets just return to the stock, and then you get a fresh new mag, right? So that's something to consider. And whereas this, it's not a feature. This happened especially in Cold War. Now this is where it's not a feature, but so much as a bug. Cold War, if you try to use stopping power rounds or reload in certain ways, what it would do is, especially for stopping power rounds, normally for MW4, you would just reload like normally, and it would just refresh. I wouldn't say all guns, I think like maybe shotguns, but especially Cold War, where you would have whatever was in your mag, and it would just get rid of ammo. And I think it was, not at first, but one of the updates, where it actually affected guns in Warzone. So it's kind of like a Cold War virus that kind of like, not so much a virus, but it felt like a virus, because like as soon as it integrated with, the Cold War guns into MW4, into Verdansk, it carried over that like weird thing where it would, if you tried using stopping power rounds, it would take away whatever clip you were using, and then you would have a clip less while reloading stopping power rounds, which doesn't make any sense. It shouldn't happen. I have no idea what that means or translates to in Russian. Really bizarre. I don't support that site. I don't know who it is. Probably some scam artist or a bot. Really weird. So just ignore that. It's probably a virus. But yeah, it doesn't make much sense, because it's similar to that. Instead of with stopping power rounds, you lose some of the mags. You still lose that, especially with the Vanguard sniper rifles, and with some other guns like the shotguns and whatnot. But with this mag in particular, all fast mags, and I believe any for all weapons, but especially snipers, what happens is, instead of you just losing a mag, not only does that happen, but you're also only able to reload one bullet at a time, if that makes sense. So you know, if you have no attachments whatsoever, you're literally entering each bullet into the chamber one at a time. It's kind of like that, but every time you reload, you think you're reloading a full mag, right? You know, because it's a magazine versus individual bullets. No, there's this weird glitch where every time you reload, it reloads one bullet, even though you're replacing the entire clip, and you have to do it every single time. It's really obnoxious. So if you're 5 out of 5 and you shoot a bullet, you take out the mag, you replace the mag, you get one extra bullet, like you would normally, because the mag top off is 5 unless you have an 8 round, right? So then, and I don't know why it says 3 round fast mag, because you don't have 3 rounds. You don't have a traditional 3 rounds. You don't have less than 5 rounds. You have, you don't have 3 rounds. You don't have you don't have 8 rounds. So I don't know why it says 3 round fast mag. It should say 5 round fast mag, because that's what it is. You're not getting 3 more. You're not getting 3 less. You're not getting exactly 3, because 3 less would be 2. And you're not getting 3 in the mag. You're just getting your normal 5 round fast mag, like this, or the generic one, the one that just, individual bullets. That's how as much as you can carry. It's like that. So that's two things already. That's wrong. Well, 3 things technically. Fast with sudden power. With this, you lose your mag that you're reloading with. That's 1. 2, like I just said, you're only reloading 1 bullet at a time, even though you're replacing the entire clip. And 3, the description says it's 3 rounds. Like the magazine carries 3 rounds. That's not correct. And even if it's called it being crazy in opposite land and a clown world, and because like liberal woke-tard retards, it's not even that. It's like at least they have opposite logic, and some of them have opposite logic. Some of them are just crazy and they make no sense, chaos, whatever. But this is just, it doesn't make any sense, because you're not getting 3 more. It's not 8 bullets. You're not getting 3 less. It's not 2 bullets. You're getting 3 rounds is what it says it's giving you. So you reload faster, and what the con should say, if it's actually supposed to be 3 rounds, is less magazine, less mags, less ammunition, right? That's the con. But that's not what's happening here. It's 5 round fast mag, and you have to reload a clip every time just to do 1. And then if you're out of 0, then you have to do an extra long reload animation, which is technically quicker than if you're on because I think that when you're doing the single bullet chambers, it does the exact same animation, except an extra cock at the end. When you're doing the individual, you're like no mag attachment. But for this, you're doing extra click-clack, and it just takes longer, even though it's a faster animation, if that makes sense. Because, it's always going to be longer when you're reloading an entire clip versus just changing the mag. So, and because it doesn't work the way it should work, it actually takes longer than if you were to have no fast mag, if you were just to do no ammunition attachments at all, if you just did the individual bullet reload, unfortunately. So this is fucked to high heaven. Makes no goddamn sense. It's been an ongoing issue. And yeah, it really fucking sucks, and it makes no goddamn sense. So, don't know why they're doing it, but they are. Another thing, they did a silent update to where you can't use the bayonet the way you're supposed to use the bayonet. One of my friends said it's glitched, and yet you have to equip, like, you have to have a perk that makes you run faster, plus you have to equip reach, and then you have to equip, yeah, I think that's it, and that makes you run. I've tried it, that's not work. Maybe it works for him because the game's so bugged that it picks and chooses when it wants to work, and sometimes the bug changes person to person. I don't know, that's how fucked up Call of Duty has been from the get-go. But it's just really weird, because you can't run and charge like you did in World War II. You can for the assault rifle bayonets, and you could before the silent update with this, or any other bayonet, But now all of a sudden it's just this weird lazy jerking action. Now here's another thing. It says damage, melee range. Now there was no con before. They recently added recover speed, which is say it's slower fire rate because it's you're not as doing it as fast as if you were to just do the butt of your gun. So they say melee damage, but that's stupid because if I hit somebody 2 times, so I guess it's really buggy. A lot of people are saying it's 2 melee hits. A lot of people are saying it's 3. Because they said they debuffed the melee animation. Just all melees, made it 3 hits. I think that lasted for a little bit, and then they snuck it back into where 2, and then some people was 3, and it just doesn't make any goddamn sense. So, yeah, it's really weird. And it's funny because increased melee damage, okay, well that tells me it's going to take one less hit, and because normally when I'm hitting it with no bayonet, it still takes 2 hits, so that would imply that this takes 1. And yes, there's increased damage, but not by much. You see that tiny little slit right there on damage? It still takes 2. So what's the point? If it takes less, if you're meleeing slower, and it doesn't increase the damage, and it doesn't increase the range, like, it actually, if anything, it decreases the range. Because I've noticed, like, certain times, when I'm just meleeing with the butt of my gun, my guy will lunge. Like, and I won't even be running with the reach on. My guy will lunge not very far, but far enough to where it's just like, it's kind of like energy sword. That energy sword lunge that you'd sometimes get if you timed it just perfectly. I'd say like half of that. There's definitely a lunge going on, like a mini commando, or like a lesser commando perk is what it is. So it's really weird because it's like you could be right in front of them, like literally the blade could be touching them, and unless you're like literally your nose is touching their nose, it won't register. There is no range. There is no lunge. There is no nothing. It gets rid of the lunge. So if anything, the bayonet is shittier. It makes no sense to even equip it. I've been trying to see if there's ways to go, do it the way it's supposed to, like get behind somebody or run while I'm doing it. Nope. I don't know what's going on. But normally you're able to do this cool running animation that makes you run temporarily quicker. Normally from World War II, you could do this charge, like screaming effect, your war cry. Now it's just silent and you're doing the exact same thing silently. But now since the silent update, just yet another bugs, and it seems like they always cause more problems and fix none of them, and they only add more, so it's just really obnoxious. So there's that. So we have an issue with the fast mag, we have an issue with the bayonets. Going into the next glitch. Alright, so let's talk about this next glitch. This one isn't a fast mag, but it's just really weird. So, we go down here, and it shows it's, a mag like this, right? Just, like a brick mag, not a drum. That's what it shows here, right? A little different, looks slightly different, but it's still a mag, right? And, nope, you get a drum mag, even though it shows visually on the left, it gives you a visual and then it tells you the name. It's a round hopper, I guess you're just calling that. I don't know why. Round drums, this should also be called round drum because it's a drum. Anytime it's circular in nature and holding more mags than it normally would, that's a drum. So I don't even think it needs to hold more for it to be considered a drum. A drum's a drum. So that's really weird. Also, if you use any reticle, it freaks the gun out. At first I thought it was a charm, or the stickers, or certain attachments. Now, for some weird reason, it absolutely hated when I used this attachment in combination with I don't know, I feel like it was this one, the Shrouded, but it did not like it, it could not handle it, and alongside with the attachment of the night vision. It just was freaking out. So that is partial, and it comes and goes. But the main thing that I noticed with all guns is the night vision. When you put any of these sights, the gun will freak out. It will be invisible. You cannot shoot it. It's like the invisible guns normally. But I found out some of my guns, they're still becoming invisible, but all you have to do is do a hot swap, and it normally is, like, if your gun is invisible upon spawn, just switch your weapons back and forth once to the gun you prefer, and it fixes itself. Sometimes not right away, but it does. So you just got to do that. But for this, when you put on any of these sights, doesn't matter what you do, it just does not like that, and it freaks the fuck out. And so you become invisible. You can switch to your secondary and use it, but it's also a little glitchy. And then you switch back, it'll do this. Sometimes it'll do this like spazzy, like you're having a seizure, and it just keeps flipping in between it back and forth, and you cannot shoot it. I noticed that a temporary fix is when you're thrown down the field upgrade, and then while you're having this equipped, doesn't always work. I'd say it works maybe like 10-15% of the time. Not, it's just a quick fix, and it's not guaranteed at all. And that sometimes worked, and then I grabbed ammo, and then I could shoot it. But the second I would swap back to my my secondary, it'd go right back to the same thing. So I'd have to literally leave it on there. So that was annoying. They have not fixed that. It's been an ongoing issue since release. I want to talk about on this. Oh, and they recently changed the look for the precision. It used to have a hole in. It was like this cool looped hole for your thumb. And then they swapped it with whatever this is. And they also, they're calling it the precision instead of the precision stock. They have removed stock. They're not ending it with stock, which kind of is just annoying, because it's like if you're gonna call it one thing, then call it that for everything else. Don't just keep saying one or the other. It's just really confusing. And here's why. You have these last two challenges that involve certain weapon attachments, and it says, that the Shinari 712, that's fine, sniper barrel. Then it will go on to the next one, and it will say, okay, Shinari precision stock. Okay, well then that's what it should be called, Shinari precision stock. There is no stock at the end. So that's just frustrating. It's like, okay, either do it for everything or do it for nothing. Don't do this weird back and forth bullshit. Just say removed. Don't even call it removed stock if you're gonna take away the stock, And it just doesn't make any goddamn sense, right? So, really bizarre. Makes no sense. Yeah. Really, really weird. Also, there's this weird glitch. Seems to be helping people. When you're equipping, I want to say frangible, it makes your guy freak out and flinch constantly as if you're getting burned with incendiary. But you're not losing any additional health. Some people have, some people haven't. It's really weird. So I don't know what to tell you about that. But your guy's flipping out and having a seizure and burn, has the same burning animation. You're not burning when you shoot somebody with this. So I don't know why it's doing that. what it is. They haven't fixed that. I don't know if it's, you know, inflicting wound effect, alright? But that's a silent effect. It's a passive effect. It shouldn't say causes your character to like having a burning animation effect to cause you to flinch. That's really what they should include in Incendiary too, because you are flinching. You are getting burn damage. I mean, sure, there's incendiary damage. But they should say adds flinch damage, I guess, or induces flinch to enemy while burning. You know, just call it flinch damage, because that's, you know, it's not all additional damage. You're not making them receive more damage when they're flinching, or while they're flinching increases that damage. No, it's just something to call it by. So flinch damage adds flinch, whatever, because you are flinching while you're getting burned, which lowers your accuracy, which you can use in a strategic way. So that's interesting. So yeah, there's that. Let's see here. You know, went over the main. We got the weapons. They've now decided to call spotter not spotter. They've changed spotter to engineer, which is really fucking stupid. But I guess I understand what they were doing, because now this is spotter. And the whole thing is that increases damage range. Okay. Well, why don't you just do what you did with MW4 and I don't know, just call it what was called. Hold on, maybe I can find it. So there's this perk, Recon. You know, lets you see people further away, which is, they should just call it Recon. And then they're for the Vanguard Recon, instead of you seeing the person further away, which is what spotter should be doing, because it's just saying an increased damage from further away. It's not spotter, because you're not spotting him. That doesn't increase the damage. You just be saying, I mean, sure, you could add that, but really is what it's called is Recon, and they're just stealing that and making it confusing. I have to say, I do like the carbon fiber look they add to that handle. It's sexy as fuck. So, yeah, I don't know what that's all about. Just lazy retardation happening. So yeah, there's that. They keep switching out, depending on if you're playing Vanguard or not, the gold camo. Whether it's black and gold like it was in MW4, or in this where it's like gold and then it's just like weird black, white, tie-dye looking things, kind of like Damascus. And it would look good if it was silver, but it's white, which just looks really gaudy. It's like you're putting ivory and ebony together. So it just looks really dumb. It's just gaudy as hell. Tacky. We're still stuck with this challenge, and I don't want to do it so it'll just freeze the video. Where you cannot go to Gunsmith. I wasn't even thinking. It gives you the dev error of 896 for some. Hey Ross. Others you just cannot look at your camo, or it will just freeze the entire game. So it just doesn't make any sense. Really fucked up. They got that DDoS where certain people are able to yeah, like and subscribe to my channel. I appreciate it, Ross. Where if lost my train of thought. If you are getting hit by these DDoS bullets, it literally just freezes your entire system. It just fucking sucks. And I've reported this multiple times. Some people are just using the DDoS cheat without the DDoS bullets, but some people are being cocky, and like the second you get shot with a DDoS bullet, the whole system freezes, and you not only can't close the app because the app indefinitely closes and it never stops, so you're not ever closing the app, and then from there, if you try to turn off your PS4, it indefinitely turns off. It's just it's turning off, but it never actually turns off, and then you're kind of screwed, and then you have to unplug it or do a hard reset by pressing and holding for like 10 seconds, 10 to 20 seconds, which is dumb. You shouldn't have to do that, but you do. So the quickest thing you can do is don't try to close the app, turn off your PS4. That won't always work. You might have to just press and hold and hard reset. I highly recommend pressing and holding than unplugging. It's safer. I mean, it still does damage when you have to do the freeze, but just think about this. You have to damage your PS4 in order to play this game because of all the hackers and all the bugs. You know, some of it is just the game freezing constantly, but the other half is actually people DDoSing people, and that's just fucked up. That's just fucked up. Now we also have, if you go to friends list, it's just freaking the fuck out. Everything starts to lag. Everything's sputtering. It also, that's one, so everything's super slow. It's gonna be actually super laggy. I never lag, but now it's skipping people again, so you have to do every other person. It's gonna show you have a lot more people online than you actually have online, or that it's kind of weird. So like it'll show certain people that are clearly offline, as you can see the people Max King or Max Lung down there. It says he's offline. So why is it showing that he's, you know, amongst the other guys who are online? That's weird. The other thing is if you go to party, it shows you who's actually online, right? You have to spam it a couple times because you can't just press left because of how much it's lagging. And I'm pressing triangle, pressing triangle, pressing triangle. Lagging and buggy as fuck. Okay. And it sure likes to be buggy. Oh my god. Okay. Here we go. Now it's saying 14 people, right? If I go to my friends, go all the way down. That's 16 people. So, and you see way more green lights than not. So it's saying I have way more than 14 people online. So why is it showing more people online here, excluding the guys who are actually saying that it's offline, like those black circles? Yet it's putting them in the group of everybody else versus the very, very bottom. So normally it would go people who are online, people who are online but not playing Warzone, and then it says people that are actually offline, right? So, but they're just throwing out random people online, but it's also showing people that are online here, but not in party. So what gives? I'm literally hitting that like 5 times and only for it to go once. Ridiculous. So I don't even know. The player card's still glitched. Oh, and the Call of Duty app is just not doing anything. Like, it will say, hey, we're doing this. If you want free loot, you know, watch it at this time. I go to watch it at this time, and nothing happens. It just doesn't say it's starting. I'm thinking, is it canceled? What's going on? Nobody knows. I'm trying to figure it out, and I'm asking around. Nobody knows. So it's just like, why advertise that you're doing in a tournament, and I have to watch it, which I'm not really going to watch. I'm just going to leave it on so I get the loot. But only for it not to be on, so it just doesn't make any goddamn sense. So that's really a lot of bullshit. The Call of Duty app has just been a piece of shit for a long time. They haven't made any attempts to try to fix it, make it better. That's obnoxious. Oh, and one of the most recent things is before in the Call of Duty app, if you get a bunch of people filling your slots, and sometimes it would be buggy, and you would get rid of like everybody starting from scratch, and it would just take forever for a couple of people to get on, maybe like 3, and then like, okay, they're not participating, they're not being active, so then you kick them, and it takes even longer for the like another 3 to come. And normally it's not by 3. Normally it's just that just floods your thing by. Let's say you can have 20 people, right? It gives you like 15. It always like maxes out around 15, a little higher, a little lower. But no, recently it's just maxing out at 3, and then it adds 3 every time, like every 2 weeks or something ridiculously long or longer. And now it's just like I can't. No one's joining, so it's like it's not sending me new people. And I didn't do anything for it to do that, so I don't know what the hell is happening. And it's apparently a common issue, and they're just like, nope, we're not going to address it. We're not going to tell you what's going on. We're going to tell you it's your problem. You know, reset your phone, close your app, reinstall it, all that bullshit, which, you know, everyone has already tried, which is why it's an issue and it's an ongoing issue. So it doesn't make any sense. Recent squad still doesn't work. In fact, it's broken more so. Or you couldn't just not invite people. You can send them friend requests. Now, it won't even show your recent squad. It will not show any people on your recent squad. Out of all 200 people. It will also not show anyone in your recent lobby out of all 200 lobby. And the funny thing is, the whole point of the recent lobby was getting so bugged and getting so broken. It was getting worse and worse, adding new negative features per day, you know. First you had to, you know, search through the entire thing and it was not active. Then it's like, okay. Oh, I mean, at first it was on top of the list. Then it was like mixed and matched. Then it was like sometimes there, sometimes not. It just kept getting worse. And now the more recent squad is more broken than recent squad, because like recent lobby, it's still broken as fuck. It's still not going to be the most recent, but at least it works 15-20% of the time. Where if I search through the entire 200 people, I may or may not find 1 or 2 people out of my entire squad of 4 people. So that's kind of fucked. So it's not even worth the search, since it's just not. What's the point? There's no guarantee, and it doesn't work. So this is broken. This is broken. You're not able to access your clan. You can even turn on your clan tag. It force feeds. You know, gone from normal clan tag to clan tag. You know, custom to, you know, normal. Your clan's clan tag. They've gotten rid of that button for whatever reason. They added clans in Vanguard, where you could actually level up your clan, but then they're completely not doing that here. They're still calling it groups, which makes no goddamn sense. It's not a group. There's no such thing as groups. It's only clans. That's what they changed the name to, but there's no groups in addition to the clans. It's just clans. So, really fucking idiotic. And yeah, I think that covers... Spam this. Like, spend it 6 times just to get out of there. Fucking retarded, man. Oh my god. They still don't have any descriptions on the weapons. It said I was going higher, and it did give me a different prestige symbol for a bit, and then it took it away. So that's really dumb. Don't know what that's about. Saying customization, I have a new item in the emblems. I'm going to check. There's no new item in the emblems, so why are you telling me there's a new item in the emblems? Oh, look. New item in the emblems. It's normally was going to be right here. You know, right after the, you know, specialty emblems. Not there. So that's fucked up. Doing this weird coding bullshit where it doesn't actually tell you what the name of it is. I have calling card frames, but they're not rendering, they're not tracking, just not working. And yeah, it just fucking sucks. Oh, and they also did a new silent update on this. So before, I had everything, and it always said -1 from whatever I had. So let's say I could complete the first challenge. It said 0 out of 0, even though I just completed the first challenge. Then, I mean, I wouldn't say that immediately. I'd say, like, after completing a certain amount of challenges, it would subtract me by 1. I want to say after, like, the 3rd, 4th challenge. So it just wouldn't register. I'm like, okay, maybe it's just showing I completed it, but I really didn't. So I went and did it however many I would think it would to be, get me the next tier, even though it said I completed the max tiers, and nothing happened. So that wasn't it, and it's just, definitely not giving it to me, even though it said I had completed all of it. I talked about it in a previous video. So out of all the ones that are not complete, is 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it says I was 17 out of 20. So now instead of it saying less than I have completed, now it's saying I have greater than I actually have completed, which doesn't make any sense. And it's just weird because they temporarily fixed that, or I would have, I think it was shortly after I talked about this, so I don't know if they, or I wouldn't say shortly after, I want to say like 2 weeks to a month after. And then they fixed it to where it actually was. Although it doesn't make any sense because I already completed these on Vanguard, so yet they're making me do it again and more so. Really fucking idiotic. And then so, it's still 16 out of 20 remaking me do this. It's like, okay, fine, you're remaking me do it for no goddamn reason, but at least it's showing 4 lock symbols, right? And now it's saying 4 lock symbols instead of 16 out of 20 to match those 4 lock symbols out of 20. Now it's saying 17 out of 20. Which doesn't make any goddamn sense. Are you taking back? Saying, okay, well, you completed on this on Vanguard, you completed on this on Vanguard, we're not going to force you to complete it again. So, that's it? Okay, great. But you're not, that would be 18 out of 20 if that's the case, not 17 out of 20. Because that's 2 of them that I completed on Vanguard that is saying I haven't completed here. But you only need to complete it on one, or the other, not both. And it just seems to be these 2 that have been buggy and not working the way they should. And I'm having to finish these 2, which is a pain in the ass to do. So, just really bizarre, not making any sense, not tracking. Then obviously all of them are still level 1. And I'm like, okay, well, you can't do any of the missions, which I tried doing some of the missions, and it didn't work. And I'd say about, like, probably shortly after one of the first silent updates, it started, I want to say, like, that was, like, 3 weeks ago, where I could get progression to this. My guy would still be level 1 once I maxed him out, but it's still, it still says 1 out of 3. It's like, okay, 3 challenges, right? 3 challenges. Now, it's really weird because look. Okay, so the preview unlock for getting to level 2 with the character, that's what it's giving me. But yet, this is also saying R2, so it won't, it's prioritizing the operator level 2 unlock, but not the if I want to press L2, it works, but not R2.
Hey, I'm better than you.
Even though that's what it's saying for the right, so it's really obnoxious as hell. Why am I getting a bunch of Russians speaking gibberish? Like, at least the other guy is speaking Russian in his name. But like Von Ville, that's okay. It's really weird. But yeah, I haven't completed the first challenge, so I don't know why it says 1 out of 3. It should say 0 out of 3. So really dumb. But at least I'm able to make progress towards it. And even though if I do make progress towards it, it does not count towards operator level 1, since this one's 3 out of 3. I'm already close to completing it. So I'm guessing as soon as I complete this, either stay 3 out of 3, or more likely, since it just resets back to level 1, I still get the goods at the XP, but it's just going to say 1 back to 1. So it's either going to say 1 out of 3 like the rest of them, or even 0 out of 3 like the, because of it's resetting the way it should actually reset, even though it shouldn't reset at all. Don't know what that's all about. So yeah, bunch of bullshit. Not sure what's going on with that. Whew. And yeah, I think that's about it. I think I've actually covered all available challenges now. Actually, except the last one. Normally, every weekend they would switch it between Plunder Trios, Plunder Quads, do the combination between those two of Blood Money versus not Blood Money, of Trios and Quads, Blood Money Trios, not Blood Money, just normal Plunder Trios, Blood Money Quads, normal Quads. So yeah, they would interchange between that every weekend, and it's just been Plunder Trios the entire time, which doesn't make any goddamn sense. So I don't know what the fuck that's about. Really dumb and idiotic. So yeah, really dumb. So I'm trying to figure my way out around that. Yeah, I think that's about it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you like, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.